So Lacey, so you were exposed to somebody else's blood. I mean, that's interesting because in the
Mhm.
Bible it says that there's life in the blood, right? And
Yeah,
so what else is in the blood,
right.
right? So if we get
Interesting.
contaminated with somebody else's blood, I mean, obviously there's always a risk, but then what's the spiritual risk of that? Are we also inhabiting some of their spiritual declines or stuff that maybe has been plaguing them if we're in contact with somebody's blood in that way? I've always had thoughts about that, and just seems to align from what you're stating. So it seems like that happened, and then things got progressively worse, whether it was the contamination aspect or the spiritual aspect. But the thing that's striking is that you said it let up once you kind of started to question your faith,
Yes.
which is interesting because it's almost as if that stronghold was pleased. So it gave you grace to have a little bit more of a, I guess, an unencumbered life, if you will, right? Where you're not having the struggles of whatever the disorder is leading towards and is giving you that temporary rest. It was almost like a false sense of reality. And then, especially when you went to your husband and you said, I just don't want to be a Christian anymore. I'm not seeing the fruits of the spirit in our life, and we're claiming to be this.
Mhm.
And then he's automatically saying, "No, I'm fine with that." And I understand that 100%. Um, but ultimately, then you had it seemed like the most peace at that point in a long time once you kind of gave it up. But there's the spiritual aspect to it, which I see now, and I think a lot of folks probably don't tick and tie those together. But when you're going through that walk and now you're opening new doors, you're meeting new friend groups in other religions or sects, you're seeing more of a peace in your life, but you're also having some other, I guess, falling out of things that you typically would be, and you're kind of transitioning and changing in a way. So obviously, you're talking about that's about 6 months post that event, and your life is changing and seems to be a positive way if you look at it on the outward perspective.
So, but behind
Do,
closed doors, I was struggling.
and also, Lacey, do you think that by you being exposed to somebody else's blood, that spiritual tie is what led to you having almost a change of behaviorisms?
I certainly think there was a part to play in that.